Hello, everyone. Good evening. I am losing my voice, but listen, I want to give you about 1 minute to tag, like, and share. I'm getting ready to do the same thing. If you can hear me, please let me know. This is something you do not want to miss tonight. You don't want to miss this session. This episode. I am on my Dr. LaQuetta Solomon page right now. I am live and I am sharing this. I'm going to share it on my personal page. And I want you all to tag, like, and share. Tag, like, and share. That's what I need you to do right now. Tag, like, and share. Can you do that for me? Please tag, like, and share as you hear me talking. I want you all to really tune in. I want you to tag your friends, your loved ones. Listen, anyone who needs to know about empowerment on so many levels. I'm making this public so everyone can see it from my private page. And so I've just done that. Make sure you tag, like, and share. I am on Dr. LaQuetta Solomon. I am on LaQuetta Solomon. I'm getting ready to go on other pages. I'm also on YouTube. What's up, YouTube audience? Hello. I want to make sure everyone is on tonight. And so I want to say hello to everyone. And if you are listening, I see 2 people are on right now, but I need to raise the numbers. I am going to put at everyone on this as well, because I want everyone to be a part of this live. I see Sharthenia, you all, that's my cousin, and I'm actually named after her, Sharthenia LaQuetta. And so hello. I want you to tag every girl, every woman, every grandma, every auntie. Tag. You all are in for a treat tonight. I see the numbers are going up. I want them to go up a little higher, because there is something that needs to be, we're going up higher. There's something that needs to be imparted tonight, and I don't want anyone to miss. You all are in for something like phenomenal. Guess why? Because I'm not just coming on tonight. I'm coming on tomorrow too, but this is a special edition. So if you could put that in the chat. Hi, Nicole. Hi, and I just seen your request. Welcome. Please tag, like, and share. I am trying to make sure everyone is aware of what we're getting ready to talk about. If you have a grandma, you have an auntie, you have a mother, you have a sister that would need to hear about empowerment and really just getting into a mode of really transforming lives by your presence, tonight is the night. And so I'm going to give everybody about a couple of more minutes, and we are going to have a powerful discussion about mentoring, and we're going to be talking about a phenomenal weekend that's coming up. And so I want you to tag, like, and share. I want to say hello to my YouTube audience. I want to say hello to my Facebook audience. And I see you peeking. Come on in and say hello. Don't just peek. Say hello. How are you? How are you doing today? Don't just peek in. I want you to say hello so I know you are on here. I promise you, we are not going to be on here long, but we're going to be on here strong. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dr. LaQuetta Solomon. I am here to be your host on Elevated Frequency. And this is basically, I would say, a video cast, right? Where yes, and we're so happy to have you, Nicole, where we elevate our frequency, we quiet the noise. Hi, Stephanie, your girl is getting ready to talk. Miss Perkins, everybody say hi to Miss Perkins. That is my daughter's dorm mama, and we haven't heard from her lately, but she's getting ready to talk tonight, so you may want to stay on and listen to your Miss Amaris talk. Miss Stephanie Perkins, she works at Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina. She is my daughter's college mama, dorm mama, and my daughter attends Johnson C. Smith University in HBCU in Charlotte. Listen, she is an HBCU legacy because I attended South Carolina State University, the home of the Bulldogs, the MEAC champions in football. Whoa, what you talking about? Yes, you are going to be crying probably. And so, listen, I just wanted to talk to you all. Nicole, HBC, you love, oh, is that Livingstone? You got, oh, or Spellman? It's one of the two. Yeah, we're all in it. Come on, let's rep this out. Hi, Mernica, hello. Please tag, like, and share. You don't want to miss this conversation because this is something that will really resound throughout generations. Somebody say generations. We need to understand that generations upon generations build the future for the next level of doctors, lawyers. We want to be able to build generations. Hampton, Hampton University. All right. Hampton University is on here. South Carolina State. Amaris is representing her little Johnson C. Smith. And listen, we're getting ready to meet the CEO and founder of Brown Girls Scholarship Fund. And she is not my sorority sister, but she is my Greek sister. I love her so much. I'm always representing Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. But I was blessed by Sigma Gamma Rho, who allowed me to come a couple of years ago and give some empowering words. And so it's all love. So listen, ladies, tonight. Thank you for coming on. Stay with us. I want these numbers to go up even more as we talk about something. And so thank you for tuning in and welcome. Listen, I am so excited about tonight's conversation as we're going to be highlighting the Brown Girls Learn Empowerment Weekend that's coming up and the incredible work of the Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund. Somebody put Brown Girls hashtag in the chat. So listen, when we talk about empowering, right, Black and brown girls, we're not simply talking about hosting another event, right? We're so far beyond just hosting events. We're talking about creating access, creating exposure and mentorship, as well as affirmation, and also opportunities for young women, right, to see themselves beyond their present circumstances. I'm thinking about my own life growing up. I was part of the Girl Scout, but I wish I was in this generation where we understood the impact of mentorship, because the statistics really remind us why this type of work matters, because Black girls really represent only 15% of girls enrolled in public schools, yet they account for nearly half of the suspensions and expulsions received by girls. Yes, more than 1/3 of young adults actually report growing up without the support of a mentor. Somebody put hashtag mentor, right? And as young women enter college, many face significant financial strains, barriers, and student loan debt. Yeah, you all with me tonight. But tonight, we are not only focusing on the barriers, we are actually celebrating the brilliance, the beauty, the resilience, the leadership, and evolution of brown girls, right? Clock it. I think that's what it means. Let's clock that, right? Clock it right there. And listen, this phenomenal organization, the Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund, is really helping young women understand that they deserve to be educated. They deserve to be supported, celebrated, and this is so important, positioned to become everything everything that God has really placed inside of them. So tonight, we have the privilege of speaking with the visionary behind this movement. This is not a moment, y'all. This is a movement, and she is a force to be reckoned with. Let me tell you, she is the founder and curator, Miss Alyssa Abernathy, along with this year's Tea and Tiaras co-host, Miss Amaris Brielle Lynette Gamble. And she's actually my daughter, y'all. And so we're going to learn more about the vision, the weekend, and really the experience. This year's theme, the evolution, right? And how each of us can become part of this powerful movement. And I'm excited. I'm excited. And so I want to introduce to you none other, the visionary, the force to be reckoned with, Miss Alyssa. Y'all give us some heart hello.
Hello, everyone. I am so excited and elated to be in a space with the great Dr.
Oh,
Simon tonight. And I'm honored even to be working with her daughter this year. I am so excited to share with you what we are doing and the vision that God has given us to help the next generation of women to evolve into their greatness.
listen, I'm going to tell you, get your niece, get your cousin, get your daughter, get your auntie, get your mama, your grandmama. We need this conversation
Yes,
tonight. This
yes,
is a special edition of Elevated Frequency, and we're coming on again tomorrow. But tonight, I needed to highlight this because there's a weekend coming up this weekend. And listen, you're going to be able to still participate. And
yes,
listen, nothing but a couple of minutes away in New
yes.
Jersey where they're going to be having a phenomenal event. So I want you all to join in on this conversation. We're going to introduce Miss Amaris Gamble. Give it up for her. Hello, Miss Amaris. How
Hi,
are you
everyone.
today?
I'm well blessed and highly favored.
Yes.
Oh,
I don't
really?
know, it's my first time coming on my mom's like stuff, so I'm a little nervous.
Oh,
A lot of people watching.
you
Oh
got
my
it, girl.
goodness. Oh my goodness. So, Miss Amaris, we're going to start with you and then we're going to go to Miss Alyssa and then I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Tell us about yourself.
Well, hello everybody. Greetings. I am Amaris Gamble. I'm hailing all the way from Long Island, New York. I am a pre-social work scholar, aspiring to be a social worker and work in the BCBA industry. I currently work for autistic children currently as my summer intern job. I am a content creator. I am a daughter. I'm a mentee. I am all the above. I wear a lot of hats like my mom. I mean, that's where I get it from, but
We love
um,
that.
but I'm really excited. I have the opportunity of being a co-host this year, and I'm ready. I'm ready.
So, where do you attend school?
I go to school at the illustrious Johnson Crane Smith University in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes.
Wow. And what
Ooh,
year are you
ooh.
going into?
I am a rising sophomore.
All right. So, are you excited to go back to school?
Sure. I don't know. I got so comfortable being home. Like I got to go back to school. I'm like, but yeah, I'm excited.
Wow.
Excited.
Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. Well,
Thank you.
Miss CEO, founder of Life Equip Group, also of this phenomenal Brown Girl Scholarship Fund. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello again. My name is Elisa C. Abernathy. I am the CEO and founder of Life Equip Group, a nonprofit organization that services youth and young adults ages 15 to 24. We provide information, education, and resources to help them design the level of success that they desire. I'm also, by day, I am a social worker. I'm a licensed social worker. I currently provide mental health counseling as well as substance abuse counseling. Um, What else do I do? I do a lot too, right? We are all multifaceted on this line. And I am the curator and creator of the Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund. And I just do so many other things in the world, but this is my baby, this is my heart. And yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing more about this movement.
Wow. So welcome, welcome, welcome. There's so many comments in the chat at this time. And so I'm just going to put them on the screen sometimes because, sometimes I won't see them. And so I want everybody to know that we are acknowledging them. And I want to really get into the flow. So listen, you all have some time to bring some people on because this is something you don't want to miss. Mentoring has been around for such a long time, but now we're understanding the impact of mentoring. And let me tell you something. I want to begin with the story behind the vision. And every impactful movement, right, begins with one person who saw a need and chose to do something about it, right? Before there were scholarships, empowerment weekends, and lives being transformed, there was simply a vision. Somebody say a vision,
Yeah.
right?
Of
And every vision has a story, right? Every vision has a story. And I want to know what inspired you to create the Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund, and what need did you see in the lives of young women that made you say this has to exist?
Yeah. So I am the brown girl. So Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund is a reflection of me and my personal story. So I had my son at 15 and a half years old, and I dropped out of high school early and just was unclear about myself and where I wanted to go in my life. Not that I did not have a great mother or great support. I just, as most young people, and it's probably a little worse today, we think we know everything. We think we have life all figured out. And so I started to go down this journey where I wasn't clear about who I was. And one thing I always say when I tell my story, the day that I listened to my mother is the day that my life went on track. And so, as young people, we don't value our parents' voices. We don't always value their knowledge, their tutelage, because they are our first mentor in actuality, right? We make mentorship, we made it into a business, but in actuality, mentoring starts at home. And so once I began to listen to my mother out, and I started to go on my journey, I became a very resourceful person. I had to learn about scholarships on my own. I had to teach myself how to obtain the resources to help me get to the goals in which I am today. And so I created the Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund to create a financial and economic resources to help support young women who may have made a premature decision, have access, whether they want to go to traditional college or they wanted to get a certification. So I wanted to give them one of the pieces that I didn't necessarily have in my community. Yes, it may have existed, but I didn't know it existed. And so not only did I want to create the Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund, but I created a whole organization actually behind my story to give young people in general access to resources to help them reach the level of success that they desire.
Wow. Now, this is an impromptu question that my daughter does not know I'm getting ready to ask her. And so, Amaris, what attracted you to this event and this weekend as you were asked to be a part? What attracted you to this?
Well, what attracted me was the word becoming.
Wow.
That's something that I am on a journey of currently. I am, like I said, I am currently a rising sophomore at college. And so my whole first year, freshman year, was about becoming. And I'm so happy that, you gave me the opportunity because it's right up, where I'm heading. So I'm still becoming. So that's what really attracted me.
So
Yes.
when you say like becoming and being a part of this particular event, what do you believe youth, young ladies, need to know about becoming? Because sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. Sometimes we don't have enough grace for ourselves. We feel like we need to grow up before our time. And so, what would
Yeah.
you say about the word becoming? And if you had some young girls who I know are listening tonight, what would you tell them about the process of becoming?
Well, a lot of the things that you listed is things that you, as my mom, we always talk about constantly. But the word becoming really, and I really want you guys, young girls, to understand that rejection is always redirection. And on the journey of becoming, you're gonna have things that where you think that you're gonna get it and you're not, and that's okay. And that's the whole part of becoming, because the rejections and the things that you go through, the hardships, really
Yeah.
make you and to become who you need to be. Because without the hardships, where is the results? So it's like you have to go through things in order to become. And so that's what I really had to learn. Hopefully I answered your question. That's your
Yes, and listen, this is like impromptu because this is not on the script. So you did
okay.
very, very, very well. And so, um, um, Miss Stephanie said, "Lord, my baby has me crying. Talk, daughter." She just put that in there. And so, on the word of becoming, another word that is synonymous with that is evolution, right? Evolution. And this year's theme is evolution. How many of us ladies out here, I see my mentor on here, Dr. Janola Morales, right? Are evolving. I believe every day you wake up, you are evolving into who you are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the old version of you, right? And today is the new day of your evolution. And so when we talk about evolution, I want to ask you, Miss Abernathy, what does the evolution mean to you? And what transformation do you hope every young woman and every woman in attendance experiences when they leave the weekend? And this is the weekend coming up. Get ready to answer that too, Amaris. Go ahead.
So when so last year, I don't know where I was, and I began to talk to God, and just when I'm creating and I'm developing every year since I've started the Brown Girls Learn Scholarship Fund, which went empower. It went from a 1 day event to a weekend, because I saw that this wasn't just about 1 day of just celebrating people, but also empowering people, women of all ages, to become their better self. And so when the word evolution came up, I did a little backstory on it, and it said to be empowered to embrace their evolution. Evolution is the process of growth and change over time, often unseen, often uncomfortable, but always purposeful. It happens in layers, stages, and seasons. And so, what evolution means to me is that I am ever growing. There is something always taking place daily to help me get to the better version of myself. But in the process of evolution, there's an intentionality that should be present, right? Embracing the fact that who I am today, I may not be tomorrow, and who I am today, I don't want to be tomorrow, right? Because there is something else that I am to be doing. There's somewhere else I am to be going. So evolution for me is embracing, which this year, I didn't even realize that when I got this word last year, that the 2026 year would truly be a year of embracing. And just to go even deeper, I even was given a symbol, the monarch butterfly. Its evolution is a sacred process. The monarch does not become beautiful overnight. It begins as a caterpillar, grounded and growing. It then enters a season of stillness where transformation happens quietly and internally. When it emerges, it is not a better caterpillar, it is something entirely new. And so this particular type of butterfly, when it goes through its evolution, it doesn't just simply shed its skin, it becomes something totally new. And so a part of the process is embracing the fact that this is happening, but I am to arise and
Come
show.
on. Wow. My mentor just said, I hope you are writing a manual and a workbook.
Okay, I'm gonna be on it, and I know Dr. Solomon is gonna be on me about it.
Definitely. That
Yes,
was so profound. And when you were talking about the butterfly, what kept coming to my mind was the metamorphosis that takes place. And
yeah,
sometimes in that metamorphosis, we are pulled away, we are isolated, which Amaris kind of alluded to, and we are by ourselves in order to evolve, in
yeah,
order to become. And as women, that sometimes becomes so difficult, right? Because number one, we are emotional, and number two, we understand community. And so when you're pulled apart, even as a young lady, right? And you're trying to find who you are, and you are in the process of evolving, and you are in the process of being in that cocoon stage, right?
yes,
Sometimes you feel that you are by yourself.
yes,
Sometimes you feel that you are forgotten. Sometimes you feel that you are all alone. Sometimes your mind will be so distorted that you would feel like it's rejection, when it's actually, as Amara said, redirection, it's protection while you're evolving. Amara, since you are a couple of decades younger than us, break this down to the youth so they understand this process of evolving, and how sometimes on this road of evolving, you will feel alone. You will have these times of feeling abandoned, and you will go through betrayal, and you will go through peer pressure, and you will go through identity issues and not feeling good enough. Tell us about that.
Well, a lot of points I'm gonna make is when I was in college. Well, I'm still in college, but last year, when I first arrived at college, the night that my mom closed the door, that Sunday night, like I really was like, everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have fun." I sat and cried for a good 3 days. That whole I did not enjoy my first welcome week. I was in the room. I had my mom on the phone. I'm like, "Mommy, I don't want to go. I want to go home. Like I can't do this." Like because me and my mom, we're so attached. So that was really hard for me to for her to close the door and me to be like, "Okay, I'm actually by myself." But on that journey, I ran for something and I didn't get it, which was the first hit, the first, okay, wow, I'm actually alone. All right, here we go again. I thought that was going to break me out. All right. I got introduced to another thing. I made history being the first Miss JCSU intern at my school. And so that made me have exposure. Okay, I'm not alone. All right, that's me breaking out the shell. Okay, I'm here. All right, everybody, this is me. I'm Amaris, in the most humblest way. And then you have people who try to dictate or tell you how to be when
mm,
I'm just me. And I think that that's another hit for me. And so, like I said, going through all the things that I went through, the identity crisis, the oh my gosh, like my mom's not here. Oh my gosh, who's gonna wake me up in the morning? Oh my gosh, we're gonna do this. Like I had to get through that. I had to get through the growing up. Actually, I'm very independent, and my mom probably says that a lot, but I'm very independent, and so being independent can be lonely because you're independent. You're not depending on anybody. And
yeah,
so, yes, so during my track of freshman year, I was always evolving. I'm still evolving. Evolution never ends. It happens until you're old. And even when you're old, you're still evolving. You can never be too young, too old to evolve. And so, yes, being an evolution or being evolved really does take you for a ride. And
So what
Don't
about this 13-year-old who's like a preteen, right?
Mhm.
And they're going through identity issues. They're trying to fit in. Uh, what would you say to them as they go through that stage of evolving? Because this is who you're going to see over the weekend. Like, how do you help them understand that, from preteen to teen and trying to fit in and trying to find your crew? They don't say crew anymore. I don't know what they say. Uh,
They're
um,
clicks.
your click,
They're
right?
girls. They're
Your
girls.
girls. So what kind of empowering words would you give them and encouragement?
Well, 13, I was in COVID. And so I was just getting into my first year of public school. I've been in private school my entire life up until I was in sixth grade. And so
Wow.
seventh grade, yes, I was in public school. That was my
Oh,
first year, and it was COVID. It was COVID year. And I had a very, very hard time because you're isolated. Again, it's only me and my mom. My mom was on her road to getting her doctorate, so she couldn't talk all the time. I'm by myself. So, so, so I just want to say to those who are younger than me, I'm 18 years old, and God really has His hand on my life, and I truly believe that from my mom being in my mom's womb to now, He always had a plan, and all that. But to the 13-year-old watching, it's okay to cry and it's okay to feel like you're alone, but don't stay there. You have to move on. And you have to get yourself up. My mom used to say, girl your alarms, put your big girl panties on and do what you have to do because nobody's going to wait for you. This is on you. Like, you have to know how to be independent, but learn how to be surrounded by people who support you, who not only love you but can correct you and be able to be vulnerable to the right ones.
Yes.
wow, wow. And so, listen, as we talk about this weekend, right? What stands out to me is that this isn't just like a conference, right? You attend, it's an experience that you're going to walk through, right? Every young girl, every young woman, every mother, every auntie is going to have an experiential time where they're going to walk through, and every event seems intentionally designed to pour into a different part of a woman's life, right? From the youngest to the oldest. And so I want to ask you, Alyssa, as we look at this Brown Girls Learn Empowerment Weekend, and we understand that it's more than a movement, from the fitness party with a purpose you had, right, to the tea and tiara party and the scholarship brunch and awards. Why was it important for you to create now an entire weekend experience instead of just one isolated event?
Because there is so much that we need every day that we do not get every day. And it was placed in my heart to create an experience that spoke to every part of the human being. The fit party speaks to the physical. The Tea and Tiara party speaks to the emotional, the mental development of young women. The brunch and award ceremony is an experience where we not only celebrate those who are doing great things, but we also empower those who are supporting those who are doing great things. And so I wanted to create an experience that they can leave from and take it, not just that moment, but they can take pieces with them throughout their lives. Again, the fitness party, and I want to focus on that because when I speak to my clients, I tell them about therapy. I say to them, therapy isn't what's wrong with you, it's what's right with you. And I talk to them from the place of understanding that the way you take care of your body, you take care of your mind, right? And so with the Fit for a Cause party, and the reason why I specifically also wanted to add that to the weekend is because I wanted us to be empowered through movement, empowered through health, empowered through unity and community, and bringing people together in the same space with the commonality of empowerment and us becoming better versions of ourselves. And so I don't think you could fit that in one day. You can't fit all of that in one day. So I wanted to create an experience over a course of a weekend that embodied all of those different pieces and dressed the whole human
I
being.
love that. And one of the most beautiful parts of this weekend is watching generations come together. I need somebody to pause right there and just hashtag generations. We need each other to survive. We need each
Yes,
other to survive. It's like a body. We are a body with different parts. We have different levels of wisdom and knowledge. And when we don't have complete generations, it really causes deficits in our social, emotional being, our spiritual being. And so understanding that generational health, wealth, love is
yes,
so important, right? We're no longer competing. We're not competing with one another, but we're really feeding. And there's something in our world of therapy we call epigenetics that really states that trauma can be passed down from generation to generation, but so can love. So can joy,
yes,
so can
yes,
education, so can positive thinking. That also can be
yes,
passed down from generation to generation. And we need to start to really focus on the positive things that can be passed down from generation to generation and just not the negative things, right? That we inherit. Yeah, we don't have to inherit word curses over our lives and live by that, but we can inherit, oh my goodness, the positive words that we spread from one generation to another generation. And so we need to
yes,
understand that we can also pass down from one generation to another generation the love, the joy. We can be the repairers of the breach. The things that happened
yes,
before us, God may have put us in the alignment to really remedy the things for generations to come. And so it's so important. And I have to
yes,
say, at this year's Tea and Tiara and this weekend, as we talk about generations coming together, young girls aren't just being entertained, right? They're being equipped,
yes,
they're being encouraged
yes,
and reminded of who they're becoming. And so, Amaris, at this year's Tea and Tiara, you are a co host. No, no more word curses. Yes, yes, you are a co host. What excites you most about being part of becoming her? And what message do you hope every young girl and woman takes away from this experience?
Well, like I said before, I'm so honored to be a co-host. I really take this heavy because, as being 18, people do look up to you, and seeing that, I am also on my story
yes,
of becoming, it really does mean something to me. But I hope that every young girl that attends really understands the word of becoming and evolution, and understands that they're going to have days where they want to give up and they want to throw in the towel and they want to say, I can't do this, but that I hope they understand that it's a process and you're going to have bad days, but you have to be equipped. You have to know the tools, and, know what that they need to help them become a better girl, a better woman, a better, just in general, a better person overall. A lot of people don't have that person, and it really does mean a lot that I'm a co-host. So, like I said before.
Wow. I do have a question, a follow up question. She's like, oh my God, mommy, what are you doing? Because this is not scripted, right? Um, I believe that many young ladies who are going to be attending, young girls, if they were anything like me, I only could talk about me. I was a little odd growing up, right? I didn't have a lot of friends.
Mm.
I didn't make friends easy. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't remember. And I'm thinking about like just the different peer pressures, Lisa, that they have now that maybe we didn't have to deal with, right? Even the social media, right? And all of the stalking and the social media harassment and the comparison. I feel like it's on steroids as
Yeah.
I look at Amaris's generation and younger, right? There's a lot of comparing. There's a lot of, just feeling as if like they don't fit in, they don't belong, they're not good enough, all of that. I think we've had it, but it's like their generation is on a whole nother level with it, right? Because they are exposed to a lot of the world. We didn't have YouTube, we didn't have Instagram, we didn't have TikTok, we didn't have that other thing where you can just show a picture real quick and it disappear. I don't know what you call that. Uh,
I haven't
you know,
used it
it's
yet,
that
but I know
thing.
what she's talking about on
Amaris, you
Instagram.
got it too. You can
Yeah,
take a screen. Yeah,
it's
and
that.
then it disappears after a while, and you can have friends that see this and other friends don't see that, and
It's
click
the
some.
instance on Instagram. That's what you're talking about.
No, it's something
Yeah.
else.
Oh, you talking about
Snapchat.
Snapchat?
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't.
Oh,
Snapchat. Right. Oh, thank you. They're telling me
well,
I
Snapchat.
haven't used
Thank you,
Snapchat in
Amanda.
a minute.
Thank you, everybody.
I
Thank
haven't
you.
used Snapchat in a
Everybody
minute.
told me Snap. You can tell I have no Snapchat, right?
I haven't used Snapchat in a long
Right.
time.
And
Not
now,
even.
listen, I'm gonna put my daughter on the spot, Lisa. They even have burner accounts,
Oh, spam.
oh
spam
yeah, they
accounts,
do. They do. They live
spam
for those
accounts.
things.
Like, what is the purpose? Like, you gotta have a spam account and a regular account. For all y'all mothers who got kids 10, 11, 12, and up, they have burner. What do you call them? Spam
Spam.
accounts.
Spam account.
I'm telling on them. Spam accounts. They're
That's
spam
true.
accounts. I never heard of such crazy. Somebody said Finsters. It's all
Yeah,
kinds.
same thing.
See, Nicole, Nicole, you on top of it. I don't know nothing. Finsters, all of these things that really create
Oh,
peer
she graduated
pressure.
in high school.
uh
Yeah.
oh, okay. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, I work in college with the older adults. I need to get a lesson here. And I'm thinking about all of these things, right? What would you say to the young women, the young lady, the 10-year-old, the 12-year-old, the 15-year-old who's constantly looking at all of these things and comparing themselves and feeling alone? They don't have any friends, or their friendships have changed. What would you what kind of advice you would give them as we get ready to wrap things up?
I do want to say one thing. My mom did not let me have Instagram until I was about, I think, 13, and even that she would have monitored. I had to give her the captions. I can't post the captions. She got to post the captions.
Good job.
I didn't really have an independent Instagram until I was like 16. But it really did help me because growing up, my mom really
Yeah.
never. I didn't have my first phone until I was 10, and if that, I didn't have no Instagram on there. My mom had her number, my grandma's number, and my dad's number. That was it. That's all she had on there. But long story short, I'm glad that you brought up social media because, as an upcoming and inspiring content creator, I think that I even get so, what's the word that you use? Like, uh, uh, I don't want to say indulged, but I get so fixated on other people's lifestyles because I'm like, oh, I want to have a Mercedes Benz Jeep truck. I want to have a high rise penthouse. I want to live in LA. I want to live in Atlanta. I want to live in Houston. I want to like I aspire that. But for me, that's like a motivation. I'm gonna get there one day. I'm gonna have that one day. Whatever
Right.
they have, not to be like, oh, I want what they have, but I want it in my own way. So I'm so glad you
Right.
asked this because I think my generation also gets like I want to go viral overnight because I see she went viral overnight. I want $1 million. That's not true. That's not realistic. So young girls really have to be careful what they watch because it's gonna get to you, and you're gonna have so much hatred for a person you don't even know. And so I
Mm.
just want to say that, be yourself. Be authentically you. And this is a conversation me and my mom have all the time in college.
Girl, you preaching right there.
She,
Stay
she's
right
gonna
there.
she's gonna what we say in our generation, she's gonna charge me to the game after this live stream. She's gonna be, remember what you said on the live stream? You said you gotta be I already know. But And I think during college, that was a real test for me, is being myself with all the rejections, with all the running. I ran for two positions. I lost both of them in 6 months span time. And that was the real test on how after these losses, how am I going to still be myself, but also be myself, if that makes sense.
Right.
Because people are watching you. People are watching how you move, especially after you lose. They want to see if you're bitter, do you have hatred? And I don't. If it's not for me, it's not for me. And I'm still blessed. I'm living life to the fullest. But even though, and going back to your second question, when you talked about how what would you say to those who have experienced hurt in friendships and all of that? Like my mom said, I'm literally my mom's daughter. I don't have a lot of friends. I'm friendly, but I don't have a lot of friends. I'm a little bit more social than my mom, so I like to talk to everybody. Yeah, I love to talk
Lisa,
to
did you see
everybody.
how she just threw me under the bus?
I love to not that my
I
mom,
mean,
not that my
and to be
mom
your
doesn't like
own
to
kid,
talk to everybody. I'm
your
just
own
saying,
kid.
her social battery is like very, like, but my mom's a little older. I love to be everybody. Hey, but she does what she does, and my mom is working all the time, and so I give her credits. And she has a lot of mentees, so I give her credits. But but
I wanted to jump in
mhm.
quick. Go ahead,
No,
finish your
no, no, no.
thought,
Oh,
because I
okay.
was
I
gonna.
was just gonna say, just but we're talking about evolution and friends, and I lost a lot of friends in my 18 years of living, and that really also helped me become a better person, because sometimes you realize everybody can't go with you. And that's one thing that
Nope.
I had to realize. I was pushing for people to come with me. Like, oh, come on, like maybe if I get content and I get up, I'm gonna be big and you could come with me. I could get you a go yard bag. I'm gonna get you this, I'm gonna get you that. And I was thinking about, like, well, why am I getting them a go yard bag and they didn't even do nothing for me? Like, what? But yeah, just be prepared for change. Be prepared for change. And college is really the true test. Are you going to fall or are you going to rise? And
Before
that's
Alisa jumps in, what about high school? Because Alisa is, we got high school.
oh, high school. I went to a predominantly white institution. And so being the black girl that was not out there, I'm very classy. I was raised like that. I'm very bougie. Yeah, I heard that. I'm you know. Dr. Solomon's social battery has improved lately. um, but long story short, yeah, just for those who are in high school, that's definitely the test too. But I would say in high school, you're always around them 24/7. You go to the same people, the same with the same school every day. In college, you can meet a person you never met before in the beginning of the year, at the end of the year, and so you just have to learn how to be open with people, and just understand that some people are just associates, some people are friends, some people are just, hey, how are you doing, like. And I had everything that I'm saying is what I had to realize, and I had to go through, because those are not my mom's friends, those are my friends. My mom can't help me out no more. I'm on I gotta figure out, okay, I'm like, okay, mommy, this is this person, maybe I should put them in associate, because I don't like the way they're treating me, because I love to give. I'm a giver, and so I don't like not feeling that back. Yeah, that's my rant. Like I was talking for a long
Alisa?
No, I was just going to piggyback off of that question and remind adults, us that are older, that but we love social media, that are also building brands, that are also building our own networks. Be mindful of what we're saying and what we're doing. And the reason why I thought about that is because Amaris often pops up in my stories. I'd be like, "Why this girl in my story? Let me make sure I'm posting the right stuff in there. She watching." you know and
time.
so sometimes on social media, when we're living our lives and we're displaying our lives in the different versions of, whether it's the professional, I'm having a good time, even us as adults, we get looped into this lifestyle or
Yes.
this perception of life that we are living that may not be what it is, or it might be the alter ego or whatever. And so we also have to be mindful that we have younger people that are looking at
Yes.
our lives and how we're living and what we're
Good.
displaying, and for us to be mindful that we don't get caught up in the Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I want to say I'm becoming an influencer without realizing I'm becoming an
You
influencer,
are.
right? Because as people start to
Mhm.
find you on social
Yes,
media,
it's not
they
just
are.
social media. It's real. Come on, that's real. That is real. Yes.
So I would even caution us that as we are developing ourselves, because I have a program, and it's called LEG Care Service Learning Program, but I developed it into a workforce development program. And what I was teaching my young people during the first week and a half was about brand development, and I was telling them that you are the brand. So we are usually thinking about brands as Nike, but not realizing that we as
Listen,
human beings, we are
Ourselves.
the actual brand. So how you are putting yourself out there, how are you displaying yourself, and who you're connecting to. Let's remember that, because as you are building yourself, who you are connecting
Yes.
to is shaping your identity. And so being mindful and teaching younger people how to manage their identity and their branding identity, right? Because you're evolving, you're growing, you're changing, you're developing, and embracing that development, but also embracing your individuality along that journey.
that's
So I just want
That
to
was
powerful.
really, that was really good.
Powerful. And before, listen, everyone's putting comments in. Before we get off, I need to highlight this because now you registered something in my spirit. The ladies, women, 30 and up, they're watching us. They're watching how we move. They're watching how we treat each other.
yeah.
They're watching us. And this has become apparent to me over the last a year and a half. I went through something personally, and what went on, the younger person now got a whiff of what went on, which had they didn't have anything to do with it, right? And
Mm,
now they're being forced to take sides in situations, right? Because
mm,
they were privy to
yeah.
something before their time, before their intellectual
Yeah.
brain could understand how to process things. And so we are mentoring without knowing we're mentoring. And I think
Yeah.
we need to be aware of that as ladies, as how we carry ourselves in front of our daughters, in front of people that we have influence over, that they are watching us, and we're teaching them how to act and interact, how to be judgmental,
Yeah.
how to be, come on now, let's be honest. And so we also got to pull up our little slip. Our slip is hanging. Our slip is hanging,
Yeah.
and we're putting our young people who are looking up to us in situations, right, that they don't have the emotional and mental capacity to handle. And they're hearing different conversations, right, that they may not understand, and they may not be equipped to dissect and take the spit out the bones, right, and just take the meat. And so I hope tonight, as we're talking and we're looking at three women who have three different age brackets, right, we could even say three different generations. And I hope you all are understanding that we have to do better. We have to do better in mentoring, explicitly, as well as implicitly, how to mentor correctly. And it's so important, that we leave tonight understanding, right, that that is something that we are being put in position to do. And so I hope tonight, as we are getting ready to end and we begin to wrap, I don't know what happened to Alyssa. Alyssa, you must have hit a button or something. And so we're going to see if she could come back on. But as we get ready to wrap up tonight, there may be someone watching who's thinking, this sounds amazing. There may be someone watching who would like to pour. We can't see you, Alyssa. I don't know what happened. She's saying, I'm here.
Well, before you wrap things up, I do have something that
Hold
I
on.
want to say.
Okay, 1 second. Maybe you,
I think it's something with her.
Yeah, maybe you need to come out and come back in. We're getting ready to wrap up in about 5 minutes, but I want her to come back in, so she could tell us how we could sow into this vision. It's so important that you sow into the vision. It may be $5, $10. This is a phenomenal event that will be going on this weekend. And it is so important that she has an opportunity to talk a little bit about this, a little more. So if you would like to sow into this vision. And so before we get to that, and I promise you we're going to be off in about 5 minutes. And I need y'all to come back tomorrow night because we got to do part two of what we started 2 weeks ago. Amaris, you wanted to say something?
Oh yes. I remember that Alyssa was talking about how mentorship starts at home, and I was obviously honored to have you as my mom, and I want to say that thank you for, and this is not, this is me. Like, thank you truly for being a mentor in my life, and thank you for showing me that. And I always say this to my mom all the time, and sometimes she's like, Amaris, you just talking, but like, she really doesn't understand how watching her break generational curses and doing the things that she does really help me become me, and not her daughter, me. And I think sometimes that that was one of the things that I was struggling with when I was going off to college, and I was telling her, I'm like, mommy, what about like you're just so you, like you're about to have your second doctorate, like you're so educated, you're so smart, and what about me? Like I want to be something. She's like, one thing my mom told me, she said, be yourself. She said, don't be me. I don't want you to be better than me. I want you to, if I break generational curse, you break 10, you break 20. Like, and I really do cherish the things, the lessons, the gems that she has really taught me. And even my grandmother, I don't know if she's watching, but it just passes down. She tells my mom tells me, and it's just so healthy that to have mentors in your life. And so thank you, mommy, for being my first mentor. Truly,
Oh,
it makes me happy just seeing you do what you like to do, help people. And that's where I get it
I
from.
love it.
Make sure you guys attend. I really am so excited to see you.
I love that you said that to your mother. Many of, maybe if not all the people on the live know who my mother is. And I want to be transparent and say that that was one of my biggest challenges, is finding myself and creating my own identity outside of the name that my mother created for herself. And my mentor, one of my mentors, he's not on there, Ricardo. When I began to tell him about my vision and what it is that I wanted to do, he was able to help me to embrace who I was authentically. He started this movement called Authenticat, and it's about a person embracing who they was. And growing up as a pastor's daughter, that's a whole nother conversation. I actually started writing a book, but it's more of a
Come on,
write
memoir.
book.
it.
Come on,
And
book.
and living in the shadow of a parent who has done great things can feel suffocating, right? And so I am so glad that Amaris said that to you publicly, and I want to double encourage you to be true to who you are. Your mother laid the groundwork, she laid the foundation for you to now build upward, right? Take it up another notch, but be who you are. Because, and I'm going to talk from a spiritual perspective, in that space in the church realm, the expectations that are created for us as children and growing up in that space sometimes can be unrealistic. It can make us feel suffocated. In one part of the book I wrote, there was a time in my life where I was fighting against who God wanted me to be, who my parents wanted me to be, and who I wanted to be. And so when you are fighting against all three of those different identities, you can get lost. And I think that started to happen to me somewhere along the way until I found my footing. And so that if Friday, if I could, wouldn't want any of the young women to leave with, what I would want the young women to leave with is embracing their evolution and their authenticity of being themselves. Embrace their growth and their change. Because we see they're younger, they may not use evolution, but they may understand the word grow,
Change, yeah.
change, right? But I want them to embrace it and understand that your parents want so much for you, and it's okay for them to want so much for you, but it's also okay to say, Mom, this is what I would like to do, right? And they partner with you on your journey of becoming her.
Yes,
Well
I
said.
love that. We love Apostle Abernathy. I remember when she spoke into my life. I love her so much. And thank you, Amaris. I'm so very proud of you. And yeah, it's been a long time coming in regards to letting you fly. And the only other thing before we get ready to wrap this up, and I want Elisa to show us how we can sow into this vision. I want to say, ladies, 30 and up, we have to find ourselves. We don't have time. We don't have time to be wrestling with our identity in our 30s and our 40s and our 50s and our 60s. It's time for you to accept who you are so we can help the generations that are coming on behind us. And so if that means that you have to heal from hurt, if that means you have to heal from the abuse, from the neglect, from the rejection, from the self-sabotage, from the imposter syndrome, it's time for you to heal. It's time for you to deal in order for you to heal. Because as you heard tonight, there are generations waiting for you to get into alignment. They need us to be in alignment with our God-given purpose and our destiny in order for theirs to be set in motion. Iron truly sharpens iron. If anyone's listening to me, say, I'm listening to you, because I need you to understand that we don't have time to be being involved in schisms and unforgiveness and all of the things that are impeding on our upward mobility, all the things that are really becoming resistant against our God-given destiny. I would implore you tonight, as you have heard from these two powerful women, oh my God, that you get in alignment. If you don't know where you're going in your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you need to go ahead and talk to somebody, because time is of the essence. And as you look at your hands, I want you to see that there are people connected to you. And the longer you wait to get into alignment with God's purpose for your life, you're also impeding someone beneath you who is waiting for you to get in alignment so they can be in alignment. And so we have to love one another. Thank you, Nicole. I got one person who said, I'm listening. We got to love one another. We need each other to survive. And we need to be able to really break through some of these areas that we talked about so we can be better examples for those that are coming up behind us. We need every generation we need us all to be in alignment. And so as we begin to wrap up this phenomenal time, there may be someone watching who's thinking, this sounds amazing. Is there anybody else that feels like this sounds amazing? Because as I went on my little rambling on, only Nicole said listening, and all my mentees was on here laughing that my daughter put me out there and said I ain't got, my social battery is low. Y'all right, I am very much an introvert. You all would not know I am an introvert. I am a introvert. I am an introvert. This is only God's doing, and when I'm finished, I want to just go under. Uh, who are you laughing at?
You, because this
Oh,
is true.
oh, okay,
You
okay.
go right in the bed, go to sleep.
Lisa, I want to go back just in my bed and put the covers over my head and call it a day. All this is God. This is my purpose, but I am an introvert. You would never know that. I would rather stay in the house and never come out. And so for those I see some two people say it sounds amazing, and I want to be able to put in the chat please sponsor someone. If you're unable to come, you're not in the area, you know, I want you to support this mission. I want you to support the doctor, Alisa, who's on her way. She will tell you, I pushed her. She was so sick of me. And so when she said, oh, let's take it spiritual, I was like, oh, we want to take it spiritual, because any other time she want to fight me, right? Because of the calling on her life. But now she ready to take it spiritual. Anyway, y'all give her a round of applause. I've been working on her getting into this doctoral program, and she told me tonight she is getting ready to start in the fall.
Yes.
In the fall, her doctoral program. Listen, I believe that we're supposed to be pushers of one another. And so I'm so excited for her. And so I want you to talk to someone, Elisa. If someone's watching this live and wondering whether they should attend the Brown Girls Learning Empowerment Weekend, what would you say to them? Amaris, I want to go first because I want to end with Elisa. And then I want you to talk about how they can support. While you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and put her Cash App in the chat. Let's see. There we go. It's there. I'm going to pin it so you see it.
And the tickets for the Eventbrite if they want to sponsor someone to go.
Yes. Both is in there.
Yes. Thank you so much.
I love you. Go ahead, Amaris.
Or
What was I supposed to say?
a closing remark.
A
Oh,
closing remark. And like, why would you tell them, someone who's thinking about coming, what would you tell them about coming? Like,
first
why?
of all, I think we're gonna have a great time. My mom already brought my dress. I'm very excited. Um, I'm very excited. But I'm excited to just pour into young people. I believe that again, I always compare her, but I'm looking at my mom. She does this, and so it's my grandma's computer. Gotta hurry up for it. And um uh looking at my mom, looking at my mom help mentor young women really gives me that, oh, I could do that. And I love doing that. I love being the big dog and be like, hey, this is what you need to do. I love being the supporter. I love being the one now.
Oh, yeah. The computer is dying and she's being so
I
passionate.
love
Your computer is dying.
that.
We, yeah, poor thing. We thank you. It's dead. She's not home. This is what happens when she wants to hang out with her grandmother. And so we thank her for everything she had to say. The computer is dead. We're going to end with Alyssa. And I want everyone to come back tomorrow night because we're doing part 2 of Elevated Frequency, where we're going to be talking about what we talked about 2 weeks ago. And you all know that particular subject matter. I will make sure once she finishes that you know there is a part 2 coming along, and I want you all to be a part of that. Yeah.
But I was saying, I'm sorry. I was saying, I'm just happy to be there. I'm happy to pour into the young people. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm ready to work. Let's do it. I think the computer died.
Yeah, we were laughing at you. Okay, thank you.
Oh.
Miss Perkins said caller. Alisa?
Yes. Thank you so much for hold on one second because this is about Friday. I got to make sure everything is together for all of the guests that's going to be present. So The reason why I would encourage everyone to participate. So let me give you guys an update. Doctor doesn't know this, but in actuality, this weekend has been extended only because we had a change for our Saturday venue. So we actually moved the brunch and empowerment ceremony to August 22nd. But Friday we will be having a Tea and Tiaras event in New Jersey. And the reason why I would encourage you, if you can't go in person, but just to bless and give and donate. All funds and proceeds are being given to our scholarship fund in order to help a young lady go for her dreams. So if in nothing else encouraged you besides coming and physically being in present, you think about how the money is going to be utilized for us to further and empower the next generation of women. And so, if I didn't give any other explanation, I want to leave you with that because this is near and dear to my heart. And anybody who's worked in the nonprofit space, on one end, you know what that's like. But to start a nonprofit organization, a lot of everything that I do comes 100% out of my pockets. I am grateful for the blessings that
Girl.
I get every now and again. But the reality of the matter is 100% of this, 90% of the time comes out of my pocket. And I am sometimes on a faith and
Come
prayer. Right
on.
now, I'm living that
I'm the
moment.
same way.
I am in that moment. I can't even begin to explain to anybody how my heart is so much bigger than my pockets. But they said if God gave it to you, He could
He gonna
fund it.
fund
He
it.
could do it. So I'm going with it, right? So I am employing each and every one of you to share with somebody, tell somebody about it. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, check out the work that we're doing. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Solomon. I am always honored to share a space with you. You are doing great work in the world and in the kingdom. um I'm grateful. I'm grateful, and I honor you today.
Thank
I
you.
honor.
Thank you. This has been amazing, hasn't it? I want everyone to sow into this vision that we have the Cash App. Even if you want to purchase a ticket, please, ma'am, please, sir, sow into this vision. And I know exactly what she's talking about when you give out of your own pocket. I have an event coming up August 28th. She breathes, and it's all coming from me. Ooh, when the Lord gives you a vision, it will be provision that will be given. And so I want you all tonight to sow into this. I thank these ladies. I thank the CEO, the boss lady. I love you. I love you. And I pray God's blessings over you, that this is just the beginning. And I see this going to the nation. I see this going to various states. Life Equip is going to be on the road. You have a testimony and a testimony of just resilience and overcoming. Y'all didn't hear her say she was a teenage mother. And let me tell you, God has blessed her and God has shined down his, oh my God, bountiful blessings on her. And so I am just so delighted to be a part of your life. And now tomorrow night, Elevated Frequency, we are going to be doing part 2, what survival patterns are fighting your healing plan. And we're going to be talking about that. We already talked about comfort and familiarity and avoidance. And so they said, yes, Charlotte, North Carolina, I want to bring her to Charlotte. Ms. Perkins wants to bring you to Johnson C. Smith. And so we're going to be continuing that on tomorrow night at Why Do I Keep Explaining Myself? That is what we're going to be talking about when you're tired of proving your heart to people who refuse to see it. So there is a part 2. There is a part 2. Come on in tomorrow night at 7:30, same place, YouTube, Facebook page, Dr. LaQuetta Solomon. I do believe I am also on TikTok. And so I did not set that up. One of my mentees did because I don't have the patience for all that. I don't. Sis, I don't. Instagram, they want to put me on it. It's just too much. But let's finish talk about why we keep explaining ourselves, right? When we're tired of proving our heart to people who refuse to see it. That's so important. And we need to get this together so we can be the change agent. We could be the mentor. We could be the person that encourages the next generation. I love you all. I can't wait to be part of this weekend.
Yeah.
Maris, I'm so proud of you co-hosting. I believe that you will do phenomenal. And in addition, you all pray for me. We're leaving there. I have to speak at a retreat in Maryland, and so Maris is going to be driving with me after we leave there to go to Maryland. And
Come on and do ministry
I,
work. Come on, work.
y'all pray for
Work.
me. We're going to Sandy Cove in Maryland, and it is a phenomenal weekend. And I'm one of the speakers at this phenomenal retreat. And I'm just so happy God is doing so much. So thank you all for tonight. Thank you for
Thank
listening.
you.
Please tag, like, and share, and we will see you soon. All right. We're looking forward to this coming to Long Island too. We need it on Long Island too. All right. And
Yes,
so
let's
we're
go
going to do a
talk about
collaboration and we're going to make it happen. All right. Have a good
it.
night,
Yes.
everybody. I
Good
love
night.
you all. I love you, Elisa. I'll see you later,
Love
Amaris.
you.
And we're getting